Hi conveners, Missy here. Welcome to Spatial Chat. Similar to GatherTown, Spatial Chat is a proximity audio virtual space on a 2D image. This space is called a room. And in each room, participants can use chat, video, and audio to interact. We will not be testing Spatial Chat in our platform test drive series, as we found that Spatial Chat doesn't fit the criteria of a full conference platform and doesn't offer the features that we as conveners need to host our events. However, we do want to share comparisons of proximity audio virtual spaces so you can contextualize your experience in GatherTown and help you determine if any of these platforms could be useful to your team. To that end, this video will show you what it will be like to host an event in Spatial Chat. We will start with a walkthrough of the backend, where I've created a fake event, and then we will jump into the event itself. This should be a pretty quick and simple video. Spatial Chat is not complicated. First of all, let's look at pricing. We've used Spatial Chat's free plan to build and test our event. You can see here the different price plans and features of Spatial Chat, and the limitations that we have under the free trial. A few things to notice here. You'll notice that Spatial Chat, like Remo, has different pricing plans than the event platforms we are used to. Some are priced by individual participants, grouping, or server capacity, so make sure you speak to a representative to fully understand the pricing plans on any of these platforms. Notice that Spatial Chat is not an end-to-end platform. Spatial Chat is mostly used to do virtual offices and host smaller events. Instead of a full platform, think of Spatial Chat like Zoom as a complementary platform, not a full service one. It can be integrated into other platforms. Let's head back to the main page. Here we go. On the home page, Spatial Chat offers Create a Space, which is the free plan to test out your own event, or Try Me, which is jumping into an existing space. Try Me is not a live demo or a running event. It's an open room that lets you move around and experience Spatial Chat before creating. This room is open to anyone at any time. I've jumped into the open room a couple of times, and you never know what's waiting for you. There could be teams of people trying it out, lone event organizers, or occasionally a rep hanging out waiting to chat. It is nice to see a full room, but you never really know. There's also been some difficulty in seeing the room image in the past, but let's head on in and see what today offers. I'm personally a fan of doing this in Firefox. You're welcome to do it in Chrome. I'm going to continue without devices. You're welcome to use your camera and microphone, but I don't want anyone else in the room hearing me doing this demo for you. I'm going to do my full name. Well, I'm just going to use Missy. You can add a picture here, or if you turn on your camera here, your image will pop up as a live video. Let's join the party. Spatial Chat does this really quick tutorial. Drag your avatar around to change its place and get closer or farther away from people. Remember, this is spatial audio, so as this person moves, these two will be able to hear each other. If this man stays all the way over here, unlikely he'll be able to hear any of these people. You can also change your view by dragging and moving around the background image. You can zoom in or zoom out to see the whole picture, or zoom in on the person that you would like to talk to. Another fun feature is that you can click on anyone who's in the room in the menu, and it actually drags your avatar closer to them. Alright, let's close this and head on in. Ooh, today is a fun space background. Let's zoom in. You can use your trackpad or the controls over here. Let's zoom out, see how big the space is. Oh my, it is ginormous. Move around over here. If I wanted to, if I was talking to someone, I could share an image, share a YouTube video, or share my desktop. I could also open a chat. This is not a running chat, but a temporarily pop up. Here, I can also turn on my camera and audio, or leave the space. Up here is support, and then over here on the left, you have the different rooms that you can visit. This is actually a new feature. We will not be able to see this in our backend. We only have one room. Oh, looks like someone's joined us. I'm just going to move away just in case. Oh no. Okay, we're going to leave space. Let's check out the other room, which is a classroom. Here we go. All right. Let's zoom out and take a look at the full image. We're zoomed all the way out, which means we can see the full image, or the room. We can move our avatar, sit in one of these pretend chairs, come all the way back. Notice that the size of my avatar does not change. I would need to go ahead and zoom back in. Notice that as I move around, I'm really only moving on a flat surface. This is not an interactive picture. It is fun to kind of have this 3D image, but unlike Gather or a couple of other 2D platforms, again, not interacting with the image, just other avatars. Let's take a look at the meeting hall. Awesome, really sleek, pretty, no one else in here. You could walk down the hall and chat with people, maybe take over the rooms. Again, if you want to chat and look at someone close, zoom on in. If you zoom in and you're not actually zoomed on your avatar, you'll always have this little image at the bottom that points you to where your avatar actually is. Sometimes if you zoom in too much, you can't find it very easily. All right, let's go ahead and check concert. Here we go, zoomed in too far. Awesome. Okay, so we're in a concert venue. Right here, this is a pinned image, or sorry, a pinned video. We actually have this in our backend. Kind of fun to mess around with. Let's go ahead and check out the reception. Ooh, also a fun image. We're zoomed out all the way. Let's zoom in as if we were sitting on the couch, talking to someone else. Hey. Awesome. Okay. As you probably noticed, occasionally a lot of people or a few people will jump in and try and move around. On the bright side, it's nice to test the spatial audio. On the downside, then you're talking to complete strangers. Okay, let's go ahead and leave this space. We're going to go back to spatial chat. Okay, now from here, we're going to go into create a space. We have actually already created a space, so we're going to go straight into our backend. Okay, here's our entry to our space in spatial chat. When you first create a space, you're going to receive an email from Spatial Chat with 2 links into your room. One link is to your attendees, so they can see the space. The other is for your organizers, and they will be able to see all the organizer controls. The organizer link has a password in it, as you can see up here in our URL. Now down below, the prompt says that it's best used in Chrome browser. I've been using Firefox with no problem. You'll be prompted to turn on your camera and microphone, or your microphone only. Now, I've created a second avatar, Missy number 2, who's just sitting in our room. I don't want our microphones to echo each other, so I'm going to continue without devices for now. In here, you can choose your picture, your name, have a bio. If you had your camera turned on, this would be a live image of you. Let's go ahead and join the party. Awesome. Really glad I kept everything turned off because there's Missy number 2. Here I am. And if we were close enough, our microphones would be echoing off of each other. Let's go ahead and zoom out so we can see the full space and get away from the other avatar for now. I'm going to drag my avatar far away. Perfect. Okay, welcome to our room in Spatial Chat. Today, Meryl Streep, as Miranda Priestley, will be teaching us about the history of fashion and consumer choice, in particular, cerulean blue and trickle-down style. Now, what you're seeing here is the organizer's back end. This avatar here, I am the organizer. And this Missy number 2, would be seeing this space as an attendee. It's really not that much different. Here are your controls as an organizer. We click up here to customize the room. We can set our background. Now, you can choose from the Spatial Chat's image library, which has a handful of plain, pretty plain images, 3D modern images, actual spaces, themed areas, or you can upload your own image. Again, if you upload an image, your image is going to be flat. Unlike Remo or Gather, you do not need an interactable file to host a room in Spatial Chat. Even if you posted an image, it would either be rejected by Spatial Chat, but if you did manage to host an interactable image, your avatar still wouldn't be able to upload and interact with it. You can link to an external image here, and that will be the background of your room. You can also pin an image. This is what I've done with Miranda. She's actually an image. Honestly, I tried multiple files, all transparent, so we wouldn't have this black background, but alas, that didn't work. Even the attendee avatar can see the black background. You can also pin a video. You can link to YouTube, Twitch, or Vimeo, and then you'll be able to drag around the video all around the room. I happen to set it up on this projector because it fits with the theme of our room. Now, I've tried listening to the audio for this video. Sometimes it plays in an unbearable shrieking noise, and that's happened multiple times. So, we're going to scoot our avatar close to the video to see if we can actually hear the video itself instead of a horrible shrieking sound. Let's check.
Filtered down through the department stores and then trickled on down into some tragic casual corner.
You can hear it best when we're right on top of the video. Otherwise,
however, that blue
when we move farther away, we can hear less and less. Let's go slowly.
You've made a choice that exempts you from the fashion industry when in fact you're wearing a sweater that was selected for you by the people in this room from a pile of stuff.
Amazing. Thank you, Meryl Streep. Now back down we go. Now, notice that even though this could be set up as a presentation style, you can't hear the video itself until you're close to it, nearly on top of it. And we can't actually control if the video is playing, so it just runs on loop. For the background itself, it's pretty simple. We can still drag the background around. We've already zoomed out as much as we can. We can zoom in, take over the full screen, exit full screen. All right, up here, scoot over a little bit and try zooming back out. Up here, with this, we can actually reset everything to default. This removes everything, the background image, the pinned videos, and the pinned images. Now, in terms of, let's go done. Space permissions, you can set a space password. Set these space permissions. Again, really simple. Really just about media, texting, video, and your microphone. All right, now let's talk about interaction and movement within this space. Again, I can't stress enough that the space itself is not interactable. But as participants in the room, we can move around freely. Oh. We can interact with anyone. I'm going to go ahead and go visit Missy Avatar number 2. Notice that she got bigger the closer I got to her. So let's go ahead and zoom in. Drag ourselves over. Perfect. I'm going to zoom in a little bit more. Hi, Missy number 2. Okay, so notice if I move away from Missy, she gets smaller, which means I will be able to hear her less or not at all. When I get closer, she gets larger, just like the tutorial. Again, proximity audio. So the closer I am, the better I can hear her. Again, moving is just a click and drag. We can zoom in, we can zoom out. All right. Okay, so the bummer here, outside of the fact that this isn't an interactable space, which is totally fine if that's not what you're looking for, is that if you want to have a close look at the people you're talking to, you lose the image of the room overall because you're so focused and have to zoom in so tightly. Personally, I prefer top-down images that we've seen in other platforms. It makes me feel like I'm actually in an event space. I don't like zooming in so tightly that I lose the environment itself. Movement and perspective are a good segue into other rooms. For today's video, we're actually just going to look at other images that we could have used for this room, for our event. Remember, the Try Me room we explored at the start had multiple rooms in their event, listed over here on the left-hand side. Multiple rooms per event is a brand new feature that came out this week, so we do not have access to it. We only have access to one room. Let's take a look at the other images we could have used for our room. We're going to go up here again, change background. All right, I don't particularly like these bare gradient and texture backgrounds. I do like all of these entertainment and leisure backgrounds. A lot of high resolution images that are aesthetically pleasing. Again, not interactable. If we scroll down, we have some more basic backgrounds, a little more exciting than the gradients. Personally, I don't see the point in using a basic background, either the gradients or these abstract images. Even if your room isn't interactable, why not make it fun? All right, we've already used this image, so let's try something a little more exciting. No office work. Awesome. Let's try this beach house. All right. Okay, as we can tell, it didn't get rid of the images or the video like we thought it would. So we're going to zoom in really quick. Again, I hate this zoom function. Let's get rid of the pinned movie. Let's go get rid of Meryl Streep. Sorry, Meryl. Love ya. All right, and zoom back out. It may be quarantine, but I find this image oddly soothing. Moving around this image is the same as moving in the classroom. You move and zoom, you can sit on the chairs, go up here to this balcony, way out to the ocean. Again, no interaction with the image itself. This is about it for Spatial Chat right now. As I said, definitely not an end-to-end conference platform, more complementary to other platforms, or consider it a clever alternative to Zoom. That being said, our staff talked to Spatial Chat reps to get a handle on their roadmap It sounds like the Spatial Chat team, much like other virtual platforms, is working really quickly to adapt to our new environment and respond to customer demands. They've already added, between my last conversation and now, added customizable backgrounds, pinning images and videos, and already added the multiple rooms at once. Overall, we would only suggest using Spatial Chat as an alternative to Zoom, not as a conference platform. Check in with one of our convener staff if you have any questions, or head directly to Spatial Chat to join the open room or mess around and build your own. Thanks for sticking through this summary. Check out our other videos about platforms that use proximity audio and 2D graphics, including Remo, High Fidelity, and GatherTown.